Proletariat have a new gig. Because they are actually a game studio. They made a game called Spellbreak, as well as some other games. You actually played some Spellbreak. Unfortunately, it's shutting down. Probably not because of Blizzard, because it, as in their own words, did not really achieve the critical sort of velocity that it needed. But this does actually mean that there is now a World of Warcraft development team headed up by the new Vice President of World of Warcraft. Or is it VP of Design? VP of Development? I forgot the title of the CEO of Proletariat. He now has a very senior title on the World of Warcraft development team. And so they now have a team in the East Coast. They're hiring now both in their traditional Irvine location and in the East Coast for World of Warcraft. Mike Ybarra, John Haidt, they've both talked about how this is just how like the last year has shown them the need that they need. They just need more content. And they've acquired 100 developers to get that. And then also, as part of this, Matt, you hopped into the credits of Shadowlands.
So I did.
And you took a look in there. You found, I think, around 500 people.
I think it was 496 people credited. That doesn't include creative dev because they're way later on the credits, and it doesn't include anyone from Battle.net. Because this was
creative dev, to be clear, that doesn't mean Steve Zanuzer.
Yeah.
That means Taryn Gregory, Christy Golden, who work in the seed dev department of Blizzard, which is a different one, right?
Taryn Gregory is included because he is credited early on as cinematics director, in-game. Yeah. The only two, and this is the kind of thing that I thought was very, very weird. If you go to the Shadowlands credits for the first 5 minutes and stop after Battle.net, you'll find two people on the narrative team. That's it. You'll find Steve Zanuzer and I cannot remember his name, unfortunately. I think it was a he anyway, who was credited with additional narrative design. So I'll actually get it here, but it was funny seeing like the that's not the right account. 1 second. Very unprofessional. Where's that? Hello.
Just interesting.
Shadowlands credits.
Steve was in such an unstaffed department, really.
Yeah, it was. So we have the breakdown I have here is like 105 game design, 35 production, 95 engineering, 113 art, 91 testing, 6 sound, 17 support, 30 commercial, 2 narrative. This is, I've spelled Steve Zanuzer, and Justin Parker on additional design. So that's not literally like true in terms of how it turned out. Because I imagine a lot of those, because there's a lot of credited game designers, I'm sure that's like quest implementers and stuff like that. Because they don't specifically call those out for like the smaller tier stuff. It's like quests or, there are 4 people. Basically, there are lead quest designers, but no quest designers.
That's fascinating.
Everyone below lead or assistant lead is just game designer or level designer. So it's hard to know, but narrative is led by... There's 2 people in the narrative team. Officially. But that's not how it works out. Not at all.
Yeah. So, what this means is 2 things. So based on those numbers, 20% more devs-ish on World of Warcraft. That's pretty sweet. Could mean more than that, though, because they have been expanding the Irvine team anyway. And those are the Shadowlands credits, so that's as of 2 years ago. Right? So... the WoW team, I mean, after this, you could say it'll be 600 people. Maybe it's 700. Maybe it's 750. Maybe it's 650. But it is bigger than it's ever been before, from what we understand. In fact, Unity and Niantic, the Pokemon Go people.
Yeah, Unity's 4%.
Yeah.
Niantic 8. Yeah.
So the word from staff from Unity is it's like 300 to 400 people going. The word from Unity is it's like 200 and something people going. Yeah. But Mike Ybarra he doesn't quote tweet them. No, he makes a tweet that says we're hiring hundreds of roles.
Yeah.
Across, a few of their departments, including the new survival game. So there you go. Right? They're growing the team. John Haidt says we need to increase the frequency at which we're putting content in people's hands, and we need to make more of it.
Yep.
I think maybe they look at FF14 and they think, fucking hell, a lot of stuff.
Honestly, like, there's definitely a lot of cases where they've done a lot of this stuff before the expansion launch, so it's not just like, we've got 4 months, we'll make a whole bunch of systems. But the way they develop things and go, we've got a load of things we're going to release through the expansion. It's crazy because you get things like, you get 6.2 coming out in late August, you're like, what? Sorry, 2 new types of dungeons, island sanctuaries, new raids, new traditional dungeons, new old trials revamped. You've got an ultimate in 6.1 and an ultimate's coming in 6.3. How the fuck are you making them? Yeah.
Fuck.
You're like, how the fuck are you making so much content? I mean, the correct answer is their budget's gone up over time because the game's been getting more money in and more revenue, and also they have probably one of the tightest production things of all time, because from the very first second that game started to be remade, it was, we need to get our production pipelines and attitudes and philosophies fucking perfect. Whereas World of Warcraft was, here's a load of boys, let's make a game.
They also don't take risks. They take measured risks when they need to,
Yeah.
but they don't just randomly make domination shards.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what if Pandemonium 2, I forget, I don't know the name of the new wing.
Abyssos?
Right, what if Abyssos came with a new borrowed power system?
Yeah.
How much harder would that make the patch to design?
Exactly.
That also has to, the stuff from that also appears in PvP.
Mm-hmm.
Could design that. It'd be a clan fiesta. WoW has made it hard to make more WoW. Yeah. Whereas I think in FF14, they've really tried to make it easy to make more FF14 because they try to make a fundamentally developable game.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Dragonflight is trying to do by getting away from borrowed power and adding in, the talents, the professions, doing it in a way that's more focusing in on the actual core foundations of the game.
Yeah, well, that's a very good point, Xanos. Sad thing is, WoW's made more than enough money to make 4 to 5 times the content FF puts out. Content production doesn't scale linearly with money or the amount of people you put in, but you're completely spot on. World of Warcraft has never gotten the money back that it made.
Yeah, it's the cash cow. It supports the rest of the company.
Yep.
So that means you cost control WoW and you reinvest elsewhere.
Yeah, and I think FF14 is maybe doing a little bit of that in terms of some of the investment for Square Enix now, but you can tell based on content, cadence and stuff, they're putting that back in.
Yeah.
For sure. Because that's what you do if you want something to, if you don't want a cash cow. That's the thing. Cash cows are just like, this will go forever. And that was maybe a big mistake that they made. That they're now rectifying. Because you do not go, this is a cash cow that we're putting into like maintenance mode, into managed downturn. You don't do that and then buy 100 devs outright. You don't buy a new studio to support if you think that's going somewhere. And that's where I think that is exceedingly important for the future of World of Warcraft, is that they're going, fuck it, we can't let this languish anymore.
Bart also puts it well. 14 silos its content, which just means you can develop all of its different bits independently and they'll work. Yep. Whereas in WoW, they try to lash everything together within a season, and that just makes it way harder to do so many different things.
Yep.